Vice Grip Garage. What a good way to wake up in the morning. Coffee and cars. Hey guys, Brony General here, back with another video. And today I'm going to be showing off my other truck. So now you guys have seen Dixie here, but what you're hearing right now is definitely not Dixie. What you're hearing right now is a beast down yonder. You go past her. Just gotta say, it's a beat up old turd, but God, this truck looks nice even as a beat up old turd. But what you're hearing is that. What is that? Well, that is a big monster of a truck. It is very clearly a diesel. Oh yeah, baby. She's an OBS model. So what this is, you know, let me actually back away from the truck as it's warming up here, because this truck is horrendously loud. But what this truck over here is Princess Celestia, my crew cab, long box, 1996 Ford F350 two-wheel drive, 7.3 liter turbocharged Powerstroke diesel. And what this truck is pretty much my way of getting everything everywhere in a good amount of time. So let me give you a rundown of specs here from a distance, because this truck is so loud it's pretty hard for me to actually talk while it's running like this. But it needs to warm up. It takes about 15 minutes before it actually wants to move. So what this has in it is a Sterling 10.25 rear end with 456 rear gearing, which by the way makes this truck insane when it comes to pulling stuff. It pretty much could pull anything anywhere. It's got the Ford ZF5 5-speed stick shift transmission in it with a I'm not sure if first gear is intended to be a dogleg gear, but with 456 gearing it is a dogleg gear for sure. You can't go really above, like, I don't know, 5 in first gear, so it's basically a dogleg gear. And then obviously, as you can hear here, it's got the first couple years of the direct injection turbocharged Powerstroke V8 7.3 liter diesel engine, which makes a whole hell of a lot of noise and power at the cost of your ears. As you can see, it's straight piped and it's got a short exhaust. Was not my choice to do that. I bought it that way. I personally would actually like to put an exhaust system back on this truck. I do a lot of highway travel in this thing. We actually recently, just last year here, went on a 6,000 mile road trip all the way around the country basically, through the entire of the Midwest and Southeast. Did a great job, by the way. Go ahead and get inside of it here. And that should dampen a lot of the noise. This truck's fairly well insulated. Alright. As you can see, I have the custom dash pad here. Princess Celestia. Figured it was appropriate to put a little bit of money into a truck that's this valuable. You can see the seats are really clean. Carpet's in alright shape. It's a little dirty, but it's not ripped or anything. It's in pretty good shape. Needs a new shift knob. This thing likes to rattle a lot and I hate it, but good enough for now. As you can see, it's got the like center console bucket seat that turns into a bench style thingy with the cup holders that have the little closer, which is still there. And then I've got cassette tape storage and whatnot. Yeah, this truck's actually it's in great shape, honestly, especially for what I bought it for. If you guys can believe it, I actually only paid $5,000 for this truck in running, driving condition. Driving well enough, in fact, that I took it on that 6,000 mile road trip only about a month later without much of a second thought. But, as you can see from the gauges, it's ready for the work. Now, this truck has had a lot of work done to it since I got back from that trip. It's had all the glow plugs redone, valve cover gaskets, new wiring looms for the glow plugs, or not looms, but harnesses. Let's see, what else did it have? All new sensors in it, cam positioning sensor, there's a couple more sensors. There's a whole list of things done to this truck. But all that means that, you know, it runs good and it's going to be reliable for hopefully a long time to come. I've installed my own radio in this thing. This is a dual XC4100 head unit. These are very, very strange head units, but exactly what I wanted in a head unit at the same time, which makes me love it even more. It's very basic. All it has on the back is power, ground, left and right channels. It's only stereo, not quadraphonic. And it does have RCA jacks to plug it into an external amplifier in case you want to run more speakers. Obviously, it's got the cassette tape deck, which is all, you know, awful useful to me, being somebody that uses cassette tapes. But it also has right here an aux port, believe it or not, because this is a very late radio. This one was made in 2008, and I actually have another one of these exactly like it that's from 2010, making this an extremely strange head unit, being a dual dial style like the old kind of head units. It doesn't even have a clock. It has the analog tuner, no presets. It does have a bass button, which is kind of cool, mono and stereo switch. So it's got this weird combination of old stuff here and then the aux port, and it's, you know, it's from 2008. So very strange head unit, but I really like them. They're kind of rare though. Very hard to find one, so had to look for a while. Anyway, going on to what else this truck has. Obviously this is the stick for the ZF5. It's got trailer brake controller, which I need to do the trailer wiring on this truck somewhere in the 20 frickin' feet of length this thing has. There is a problem with the wiring, so I'm gonna have to get under this truck eventually and fix that. It's got the power windows, power locks, power mirrors that are way too small for a truck this big, but whatever. It's got the dual tanks. Both tanks, in fact, do work, as you can see, so that's pretty cool. Let's see. Yeah, this truck's pretty much fully loaded for an F350 of the time. I don't think you could have gotten an F350 as an Eddie Bauer edition truck, so this is pretty much as good as you were getting. Just option it out and check every box. It's also got the dual map lights, front and rear. Those are very useful when you actually do drive by Atlas like I do. Let's see, it's got all the door pockets and space for thingies and stuff. It's got the rear pull down armrest. Yeah, it's got the sliding rear window too. This truck is optioned out. And by the way, yes, all the windows and stuff, they all work. So that's pretty cool. It's got the smoker windows, which obviously, you know, that's awesome. See, everybody talks about the Japanese trucks and how they have the little ball chiller vent right here, but nobody talks about this. I mean, look, if you're on a long road trip and you're starting to get tired or you're starting to get a little bit swampy in the cab of this thing, dude, you just open this, turn it all the way back like this, and it is just going to absolutely blast you with cold air. So, you know, don't sleep on the smoker windows. These things are useful for many things other than just being a smoker. But moving into the bottom section here, I do actually have 120 volt power here. I've got this little extension cord. It runs all the way down through the truck, through the fender, and I have a I believe it's a 410 watt power inverter in this thing. Not a very big one. I really don't need it for much. I just mostly use it to charge things and use the TV and whatnot while I'm on the road. So, you know, just kind of a little creature comfort addition that I've made since I got the truck. It does have these aftermarket gauges. We got turbo boost and we've got the pyrometer. That way I know what my exhaust temps are hitting while I'm on the road. Pop the hood here. Truck is starting to quiet down, thankfully. It's extremely loud when you first start it up, but it does get a little bit quieter as it warms up and the cylinders start to fire right. It's got some fist dents in the hood. Those are not my doing. The last owner of this thing was kind of a meathead. But Taking a look at the engine bay. Got that massive Garrett turbo at the top. There's your fuel filter right there, unscrew type. It's relatively stock outside of an aftermarket intercooler, edge tuning. The turbo's actually different from stock, and obviously it's got this K&N goofy air filter setup on it, which I don't mind. It does free up some space in this region, which is nice. This motor does take up a good portion of your engine bay in these trucks. It's got the dual batteries like all 7.3s do. It needs them. And like I said, there's that power inverter I was talking about. Really not too much to see there other than the fact that it is, in fact, a 7.3 power stroke. Gotta close an OBS hood the right way. As you can see, plenty have already closed it the fucking wrong way. I've had to stomp this hood back into shape a few times now because of idiots. The hubcaps and trim rings and rims on this truck are actually my own doing. This truck had the factory Alcoa alloy rims that would come on these trucks. Not a big fan of alloy rims. I'm not a big fan of the flashy shit. So I actually went out to a pick-a-part in Las Vegas, found these AccuRide Ford steel wheels off of a Ford E250 van, and then I found these hubcaps and trim rings, and it really ties the truck together well. I think it looks really good with those on it. The hard part actually was finding the rear hubcaps, being that this has the Sterling 10.25 inch rear end and it's an F350. It's got these huge hub snouts, and so it requires these really deep hubcaps to actually fit on the back. And those are hard to find in good condition because they're very often just beaten off the truck when a tire needs to be changed, because a lot of these trucks were not cared for very well. As you can see, starting to quiet down, get happy. Little indicators of the name of the truck here, if I can actually get a clear view of it. There you go. Princess Celestia's cutie mark. It's on both sides actually. Probably show it off better over here. Yeah. So that's kind of cool. Also flying colors, because I must. Got CB antenna here. Just a cheap one from Radio Shack. As you can see, doors do open and close pretty easily. Everything in the back is honestly in really good shape. Gun. And yeah, I mean, this truck's honestly, like, it's in really good condition. I mean, like I said, I just took it on a 6,000 mile road trip, and it actually just got back last week from a 600 mile road trip, so, you know, it's doing a pretty good job. But yeah, let me actually get Dixie out of the way because I do have to repark this over there, and I'll give you some driving around footage. That way you can get an idea of what this truck's like. Like I said, with the ZF5 transmission plus the 456 plus the diesel, it drives like a semi truck. It rumbles and rattles and is very low geared. It has a top speed of about 72 miles an hour. So yeah, you're gonna get to see that. But let's go ahead and get over here. I might as well just film moving Dixie. That's already kind of a fun thing to do. I think I'm just gonna shunt it right back here to the dirt for now. I've got to get it into the service area in a minute here. Oh. Cool. No pump. Come on. Yeah. That's not fair though. I've already started this truck today. It's already been out on errands and stuff. So, you know, not really a cold start. But anyway, let's get this thing out of the way. Do. There we go. Whoops. Now we can get in this thing and move it a little bit. Alright. So, If you ask my opinion on an OBS Ford truck, what would I say to you? Well, unfortunately, I have the bump side over there to compare it to, which makes it far less of an amazing truck than it is to a lot of people, actually. Like, I'll be honest with you, the fit and finish on this sucks compared to that. The fit and finish on this is terrible compared to the other truck. But, is it a bad truck? Yeah. See, this is what I mean, it's still not running right. It's cold. Come on, warm up, you pig. But is this a bad truck? Hell no. It's not bad at all. Especially for a 90s truck. The dash is all still here. It's not cracked. You know, all the windows still work. And the general style of these is really good for the time. I mean, they're like the weirdest combination of newer vehicles and older vehicles that I can think of. Because this truck has all sorts of features from what you would classify as a newer car, you know. It's got power windows, it's got power mirrors. Some of these even have like ABS and stuff, I'm pretty sure. This one doesn't, being a F350, but yeah, she ain't running right. This truck needs to get fully warmed up before it wants to cooperate, unfortunately, but that's not Ford's fault. That's International Harvester's fault. There's that other cylinder. As you can tell, it's a loud pig. This is second gear. I'm only going like 10. I'm almost, I'm closing in on the top of second gear. So like I said, it's geared low. You got super duper low, low. Kinda can drive in it, drive, and highway. That's pretty much how the transmission works in this thing. But I would definitely recommend getting a bump side or an older truck over an OBS if you have the opportunity to. I know, like, you know, say Rocky, for instance, you know, Rust Belt can't really get an older truck than an OBS series cheap. But if you have the opportunity to get older than this, I would. Even the earlier OBS models, the bull noses and the brick noses, fit and finish is 10 times better than these later arrow nose model trucks. But that's fine. They're not falling apart. It's just the doors sag a little bit. They're hard to shut. You know, it doesn't feel as well put together as my baby over there. But I digress. It's a 90s truck. They're all like this. I don't think I've been in a 90s truck yet where the door's shut right. So gotta expect that with all of them, I guess. But as you can see, she's quite a baby. Princess Celestia. And by the way, there's actually a reason why I named it that beyond just my love for My Little Pony. This truck is a big white bitch that will do anything you want it to do and has the power to do everything. But only if you do every single thing this truck wants you to do to it first, or else it'll complain and bitch and break down and won't do anything you want it to do. So that's why it's named Princess Celestia. It's a princess, all right. But yeah, taking a final look at it, it needs a bed. I know where multiple of them are. I want to just get a whole new bed for it with a new tailgate and a new back bumper, because this thing is pretty roached. But the rust, thankfully, doesn't really continue underneath. It is a leaky son of a bitch. There's all kinds of oil and shit under here. But it's a 7.3 diesel. They are oftentimes leaky bitches. You can see, though, the frame's still in good shape. Nothing too bad here. It's just got some body rot. Oh, and it needs the front suspension bushings replaced. These tires are getting chewed pretty badly, cupped, and they're starting to wear uneven. But yeah, that's my 1996 Ford F350 turbo diesel fucking sleeper cab long box here. And yes, by the way, it does in fact have a bull bar with this stupid winch plate that doesn't actually have a winch in it. I do want to remove this at some point. Problem is I haven't removed it because when I'm working on the truck, you know, this is a step right here. You can also put your tools and stuff here, so it is useful. It just looks stupid, but it is useful. Yeah, that's my 96 Ford F350. And what does this thing do? Well, just about everything. At least as far as highway pulling goes. I can pretty much, I've towed, I think, 15,000 pounds now with this truck at maximum, and it really doesn't seem to even notice it. It's like it has a hat on. But one more thing to show you before I take off here is this. This would be the massive gooseneck hitch that goes right down in that threaded hole right there. And this should actually probably stay with the truck. But yeah, this truck was set up to pull I don't know what at the beginning of its life. I mean, 456 rear end, ZF5 5-speed transmission, and the turbo diesel. What are you pulling that you need that much pull power in a truck? At that point, I would think you'd need a medium-duty truck, like an F600 or something, not an F350 single axle, I mean, or a single rear wheel. I mean, even if this was even a dually, it would make more sense. It really would. But as a single rear truck, truck's too aggressive for what it could ever even do. It's the amount of weight that this thing could pull power-wise would make it unstable on the road to the point where you wouldn't want to do it anyway. So I'm not exactly sure what this truck's main opportunity was when it first started life, but I do know that it's been up here most of its life. That's why it has that rot in the bed. So, with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Hope you enjoyed this one. I'm going to enjoy my OBS series here. I'm going to get my bump side fixed.
I learned you get more for an LED screen than a plasma, cause apparently plasmas are old and I didn't know that.